Good morning. It is Monday, February 26th. It's actually sunny out today. And I finished last week's vlog sick. And that continued through the weekend. And I'm not really feeling any better today. Unfortunately, there's no one to cover my class. So I am still going in. The sun is not helping my headache. I'm thrilled to see the sun, but it's making my morning a little bit more difficult. So yesterday was a huge busy day for my family and church. We have something called Panther Pride Sundays where we invite different groups from the community to our church, and we host a breakfast for them at 9 a.m. and then present them with something, a Bible, during the actual church service. So yesterday it was the concert choir at the high school, which one of my boys is in it. Two of them were in it last semester, but only one of them were in it this semester. So we had breakfast and then the special service at church. But I don't even know if you can see me because I can't see the camera because the sun's so bright. I started coughing and sneezing during the church service, and church was packed, so I ended up going downstairs instead of staying through the church service because I just felt like it was probably distracting to other people. Oh, but an ambulance on the way to school is always a scary thing. So after that, we had to set up for the quarter auction. Quarter auction is this huge fundraiser that the church hosts every year. This year we were raising money for a new air conditioning system. And during the quarter auction, we also have an Adopt the Youth program where people can bid on the youth group members who are going to the summer activities this year. Oh, now a fire truck. And anyway, so I had to set up for that. I was in charge of making sure that got set up. So then, finally went home and had to be back. The youth had to be back by 4:15 for the quarter auction. For the quarter auction, we get all these prizes donated to the church, and then it's called a quarter auction, but it's more like a raffle. You buy entries, and then tickets get drawn. We've been doing it, this is our 5th year that my family has been doing it. Church has been doing it longer, but my family, this is our 5th year for doing it. And we have always walked away empty-handed. This year, I was like, I'm not going to spend as much money because, we're just at a spot right now where I couldn't spend as much money. So I brought a certain amount of money, and I'm like, we're not going over that money, and that's as much as I can afford to donate right now. Surprisingly, though, we actually won some stuff. I have been talking about getting a Fitbit for quite some time, and they had one up for auction, and I actually won it, so that was exciting. So I have a Fitbit on my wrist. It's exciting. And then my husband won a Yeti cup and 2 tickets to Kings Island. And my foster daughter won this backpack and school supplies set. So we spent $35. I brought 40. We ended up not spending the last 5, but we spent $35 and came out with close to $300 worth of stuff. So that's pretty awesome. It's a pretty good day. But I just got to the school. I am already completely exhausted. I am at the school almost 15 minutes late. Later than I like to be. I'm still here 15 minutes early than I have to be. Sorry, but I don't have my center set up yet, so I need to go do that. And we'll see how the day goes. Check back in later.
I can't find it. It's not in here. There's not a way to let it out. I'm trying to find it for Colton, but I don't know where it is.
What letter is that, Colton? Colton, can you tell me what letter that is?
It's an H.
It's an H, yes. What does a little H look like?
Like this.
No, it doesn't look like that.
No.
The little H is the big long stick, and then the full hump, remember? Good afternoon. It is now 12 o'clock. I had a pretty great day with the kids, considering how bad I feel. I had 2 kids out, though, with sick. And then I immediately am like, oh, I hope they get... So I hope whatever is wrong with them is not because of me. We did really, really, really well with quiet work during centers today. I was super impressed with them. I just had one act out quite a bit. But for the most part, everyone stayed on task and did what they were supposed to be doing. Then we did a flashcard review game at the end of the day, and it was with numbers. Some of the cards you had to read the number to me, and some of the cards you had to count how many items were on the card. And there's like 2 definite levels in my classroom. Well, I say 2. Okay, there's 1 child who does not appear to be able to count above 3. A couple kids that do not appear to be able to count above 10. And then the rest can count to 20. But there's 1 girl that skips 13 every time. So I'm not sure how to reinforce that with her. She just does 11, 12, 14 every single time. So that's my project, is to get her counting without skipping the number 13. But I left without even setting my room up for tomorrow. I will probably go back this afternoon, because I have some kids that need picked up at 3, one that needs picked up at 4:30, and 2 that need picked up sometime between 5 and 5:30. So yes, I am just like a taxi driver. That's what I do. But for now, I am going home. I was hoping to go home and catch up on my housework that I didn't get done yesterday. I'm trying to follow the Fly Lady system, but just in my own baby steps. And the one thing that I have been consistent on is my weekly home blessing hour. But I do it on Sunday because after church is just the best time for me to do it. But yesterday with the quarter auction and stuff, I didn't have time. And even the short amount of time that I was home, I was just exhausted. So anyway, I was hoping to have the energy to go home and do that today, but I'm afraid that I don't. And I'm afraid what my house is going to look like if I do not gather the energy soon. I mean, in reality, my kids are almost 11. The one will be 11 in 1 month, up to age 20. There is no reason in the world they can't help me, but it's like fighting a losing battle. And some days I'm up for the fight, and most days I'm not. It's just easier to do it myself. And the way that I've been doing it is not that bad, but now that I'm sick, there's nobody to help pick up the slack. So it's pretty frustrating. Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 27th. I am feeling quite a bit better today, but my voice is not great because of my coughing and such. Sorry. So hopefully I'm completely on the mend. It is now 12 o'clock and it is another beautiful afternoon. I am out running errands. I have to go pick up a bag that I bought off of a garage sale site and then make deposits for work. And then I have to rush back and eat my lunch before I have
In
some
a quarter
interviews.
mile, turn left toward North Elm Street.
And I don't know where I'm going, so I have my GPS on. So I just thought I would check in real quick. It's getting ready to yell at me again, but my turn's coming up. So I will...
Take the second left toward North Elm Street,
Sorry.
then continue straight onto Henry Street.
I had a short little meeting with one of the elders of the church to inform me that we were having a formal meeting with the elders of the church tomorrow. So I can't wait for that. But I'll check back in later. Good morning. It is Wednesday, February 28th. I am feeling quite a bit better today, but I still have sinus issues and a cough. But every day it's a little bit better. I ended up having to do 2 interviews yesterday for new childcare employees. I had 3 scheduled, but one had something come up. It wasn't able to be there. So we have rescheduled hers for Thursday. I would love to hire at least 2, if not 3 more people. So there's a rumor that one of my longest employees is going to be putting in her 2 weeks notice. So that's a little stressful. Out of all my employees, she is the most consistent. Sorry about that. So I'm on my way in. I have my room set up aside from today's centers. I don't have those ready to go, so I need to get centers ready, and then I am ready for the day. So I will check back in later. Good morning. It is Thursday, March 1st. It's a rainy morning, and I got a feeling it's going to be a long, rough day. Yesterday evening, I had a childcare employee. My hair is not enjoying the weather today. I had a childcare employee send me a picture of a thermometer, and then she said that it was her daughter's temperature, and hers was rising. And then she sent me another message later that said hers is now the same as her daughter's, which was 100.2. Which, okay, yes, 100.2 is a fever and something they would be sent home from school for. On Friday, I worked with 103 temperature. So yes, I understand I shouldn't have, but there was nobody to cover me. There just wasn't. Anyway, long story short, she's a childcare employee, but she also happens to be a preschool employee. So she had to teach preschool this morning and then childcare in the afternoon. So it ended up falling on me to cover all of it. So I am going to be pulling from the child care department one of my supervisors who will now be teaching preschool, and my son, who is a backup employee, is coming in to work child care. And then I am going to have to work child care from 11:30 until 5. I was supposed to have office hours from 11:30 to 3 because today is the day that I do my schedule and I have an interview scheduled. But now I have to work more hours in the actual child care. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Every day gets a little bit better, so that's good. But it's still all super frustrating. Today also happens to be the day that we have the most kids scheduled in childcare. We have 29 kids scheduled. That's quite a bit of kids. So we will see how the day goes. I did get my preschool classroom reset yesterday, so it is good to go. Oh, and another thing about today. We have a preschool assistant. She mostly helps in the preschool classroom, which is not the grade I teach. But she does all of our snacks. And she helps out at drop-off and dismissal. Well, her husband is having a major surgery today, so she will not be there the whole month of March. And the preschool director, I honestly don't know how hard she tried, but she didn't find anyone to fill in for her. So on top of today not having a preschool teacher, we don't have an assistant. So I had to make sure I got to work early. I have to make sure I get to work early every single day because I'm the only one that even gets here on time, let alone early, to get snacks set. I am still really struggling with bitterness. And it seems like every time I start to get through it, something else gets thrown in my face. So I will stop venting and ranting and get into my preschool teacher mode and take some more medicine because it's time now. That way, hopefully it can kick in before the class gets here. And I will try to check in with you later, but it's going to be a crazy day.